A question relating, since this is looking at discharge, and I guess implicit in several remarks from the public is that we should look at discharging less by reclaiming water. I wonder if Mr. Robbins could briefly address the current capacity and what would our projections be based on changes in demand. Basically, how long will the current capacity at Souk Lake, even a ballpark estimate, be sufficient to meet demand?
From a drinking water perspective, certainly, as was pointed out in our most recent update of our strategic plan, which essentially has about a 3 to 5 year horizon, we're not anticipating needing to expand the water supply area for another 50 years. Certainly point taken on the potential use of reclaimed water at this point, given the potential uptake and considering the planning horizon of our strategic plan, we have to look at, first of all, the supply source, considering the supply of potable water. We don't necessarily anticipate, given our projections for demand, how reclaimed water use may offset that at this point.
Sure. Yeah, my comment there is, I think given an area with an abundant supply of water, and granted with climate change we could end up with a period of perpetual drought, but I don't think the climate modeling shows this corner of the world as being susceptible to that. We're in a very different context than building a sewage plant in Arizona where you may want to drink or at least bathe in water that's coming out of your human waste and other forms of waste. I don't think that's a scenario we need to contemplate since our water supply system is in fairly sound shape with a very low infrastructure deficit. So I think the metrics are quite a bit different when we're looking at the question of water reclamation here in the capital region.
So what is the right plan about? It's about saving water. Lots of water. Water that is just flushed out to sea right now and will continue to be flushed out to sea after the CRD builds its treatment plant at McLaughlin Point. And how do we do this? We treat the water to a high level called tertiary treatment, and we do it at treatment plants that are close to where you'd want to use the water, like a golf course, large fields, new developments, or even older homes. So what are the options going forward? 1. Invest in water reuse. Start the process of recycling it now. 2. Expect the climate to stay the same. Or 3. Expand the reservoir decades sooner than planned at great cost. Which one do you think is the right approach?
The weather's good for tourism, but maybe not for everything. In a normal year, the Souk Reservoir would be filled to overflowing right now, but not this winter. The reservoir that serves a thirsty capital region is now only 80% full, and if it doesn't start raining soon, we are in for a drought this year. It probably will mean you'll have less water to use and you're going to pay more for it. CTV's Aaron Glazier reports.
The water level at the Souk Reservoir is alarmingly low.
We have a water level at about 84.4% of our full storage capacity up at Souk Lake Reservoir, which is a little bit unusual for this time of year.
Last year, its storage capacity was full before the end of the calendar year, prompting predictions of a dry summer ahead.
The October, November, December period that we've just had was the driest on record in terms of precipitation up in the water supply area.
The CRD is hoping for a few more days of solid rain to fill the reservoir to the brim, but so far Mother Nature isn't cooperating. Forecasters say we could be in the midst of a West Coast drought. Victoria has received just 90 millimeters of rain so far in January, far below the average. In Bellingham, Washington, just 56 millimeters. And the state of California is burning up as a record drought fuels wildfires.
I've declared a state of emergency. We need everyone in every part of the state to conserve water.
Similar sanctions may not be far off here, such as shorter showers and brown lawns for everyone.
We could look at implementing our water use restrictions earlier than usual.
Coupled with an increase in retail water usage rates that run from $1.50 to $1.70 per cubic meter, depending on the municipality you live in.
This represents 1 cubic meter of water, and the 2014 wholesale rate has been set at roughly 60 cents. But if you're a farmer, the agricultural rate is about 20 cents, meaning you will get 3 times the amount for the same price.
When we know those costs, then it's ahead of time. It's great because, you know, we purchased our fertilizer for the year, we purchased our seeds for the year. We know we're getting the water rate for the year, although we don't know how much water we're going to use.
Mitchell relies on 5 reservoir ponds of his own, but if they dry up, he'll draw more municipal water.
If it is a long dry season, we're always using city water also to supplement.
An additional cost that will likely be passed on to the consumer, not only this season, but possibly next.
We're not ruling out the fact that, there is this impact of climate change. There is the potential to have back-to-back drought years. From a drinking water perspective, certainly, as was pointed out in our most recent update of our strategic plan, which essentially has about a 3 to 5 year horizon, we're not anticipating needing to expand the water supply area for another 50 years.
A weather conundrum the CRD and farmers are hoping the skies can solve by opening up soon. Erin Glazier, CTV News, Central Saanich.